Hi everyone, welcome to Working On It. I'm Dr. A and I'm a clinical psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today, we'll be working on how to manage our expectations. Sometimes when we have certain expectations and we're very, very rigid about it, and if they don't come true, it's just misery for us or the person in our lives that we have that expectation of. So the 4 words that we're gonna focus on are should, have to, always, and never. 5 words technically, I guess. But those are the 4, and if you notice, what they have in common is they're all extremes, which is important to note because most life doesn't happen in extremes. Most life happens somewhere in the middle. But those words are extreme and they are rigid, kind of like oak tree words. Now, I'll link that video here if you haven't seen that video, if you don't know what I'm talking about, but we talked about being rigid versus being flexible in our mind, and this would so fit into that oak tree category, these words. Now, sometimes we use these words because we think it's motivating or empowering to us or the other person, but really it just creates this little prison of laws invented by us. We imprisoned ourselves with those words, and we don't have to do that. The other thing that's important to know about the words is that when we use them in relation to what we expect of ourselves or another person, when they don't come to fruition, when our oak tree branches break because things didn't go just so, our intensity of the emotion is much, much, much higher. So, how do we get out of this little prison that we've created for ourselves? Well, instead of saying something like, I have to get this promotion, I need to get this promotion, I should get this A on this test, I need him to get me flowers, he has to get me flowers on my birthday, this should go a certain way. Instead of those kind of sentences, you never this, I always this, I want you to use preferences or coulds instead. It doesn't make it any less motivating. It doesn't make you or the other person put any less effort, but it will affect how you feel emotionally. So if I say to myself, I have to get an A or I have to get this promotion and I don't, I will be devastated because that was a law that I created. Rather than saying, I would really, really like to get an A or I really like to get this promotion. If that doesn't come to fruition in that case, I'll be sad and upset about it, but it won't be devastation. So the way that we speak about it and when we use these extremes affects the intensity and the volume of our emotions as well as how rigid we're being and how it's affecting us or the other person. So instead of the shoulds, the have tos, the always, and the nevers, I want you to try to move to preferences and coulds, and that way you'll stop shoulding on yourself and others. Shoulding on yourself and others. You got this. See you next time.